Spinning back kick. All right, so we talked about, I have another lesson on back kicks on the channel. If you haven't seen that, you maybe want to watch that first. We're going to talk about spinning back kick instead. Briefly, back kick is just simply kicking behind us, toes are down, we're aiming for the heel. Spinning, same thing, but if I'm facing you this way, I'm going to turn my back to you and then throw that kick. So when might I, well, let's talk about the advantage of this versus a spinning side kick, which we'll do a little bit later. The spinning side kick, in my opinion, is a stronger kick. It's going to reach farther, it allows you to kick higher. The spinning back kick, the cool thing about it is it comes up and under. So if somebody's got their hands up here and you throw a spinning side kick, they can kind of close off, they can cover pretty well and block a spinning side kick. Spinning hook or spinning back kicks are not, you can't really block them. Because no matter how I try to block, they will go underneath it and up. So if I'm standing here and I see a side kick coming and I block here, or I try to knock to the side one way or the other, this doesn't work because it will go under my arm and hit me. It's kind of like a hook punch can go around or a hook kick can go around the guard. This will go under the guard. So if I'm here and I turn and throw under, I'll hit you. A lot of spinning side kick defenses don't work, like basically all of them. Basically, no matter what you do, this thing will hit you. Except for the one thing you can actually do is just move away, all right? And that's basically it. But if you try to move in, or you try, even if you try to turn and move off of the angle, I can just spin farther than I normally would. It would be difficult to do. So if I try to spin here and you move into me, I don't need a lot of room to generate a lot of power for this kick, and I'll still kick you. If I spin and you step kind of off this way, theoretically, if I'm still in mid-spin, when you do that, I can just turn farther and sometimes still get you. That's a better option than staying in place or moving forward, but your best option is just moving away. So it's a trickier kick, okay? So we're in fighting stance, we turn, we look over the shoulder, the foot picks straight up, and we're hitting with the heel up. If they're closer, it stays in a little bit tighter, and it's more of a bent leg kick, where it kicks up this way, right? But if I need to reach farther, I can extend farther, right? I'll just judge how I need to extend the leg based on how close my opponent is when I'm throwing it. So, very useful in tournaments. At least I found it was useful against me. That's when I first like, oh, this is a pretty good kick, because before that I wasn't a big fan. I had lost a point tournament to this kick because I didn't know how to defend it. It was like when I first got my black belt in Taekwondo. I won every tournament, first place, at like every time I competed up till that tournament. I think it was my second black belt tournament actually. So I think I'd done some. But this guy I was sparring with, like normally what we did to defend spinning kicks is we just jammed into them so that when they spun, you would hit them and knock them off balance. When I did that with this guy and I came in, he would still throw that foot up and hit me with it. And I didn't realize what he was throwing. Like I tried to block a couple different ways as if you would a spinning side kick, and it would just go around the guard and hit me. So from experience, I know this is really effective. In actual fighting, I don't know that I would use it a whole lot. There might be scenarios where I would. For tournament fighting, then yeah, this definitely has a place because it's a sneakier kick. Like I said, it isn't as powerful, but if it's points fighting, it doesn't need to be. You can't kick as high, but again, as long as you're hitting the body, it doesn't really matter. And realistically, for like self-defense purposes, this could go up between the legs too, but generally I'm never going to turn my back in an actual fight. I rarely want to do it even in a tournament setting, depending on the rules. But for mostly, I'm never turning my back. I do throw spinning kicks, but typically what I'm trying to do is get them to move in the direction that I'm going to spin. That way I'm not just standing here and throwing it where they can defend it. They're already defending a first attack, and the spinning attack is my secondary one. And you could do this with the spinning hook as well. So anyways, that's or I said spinning hook, but spinning back kick or mule kick too. So turn, look, kick, done. You usually come back. Typically, you won't go this way. It's an awkward turn. It's much quicker to kick and come back. That's spinning back kick.